What's up, everyone? Thanks for joining for today's recap session. Let's quickly jump on the screen share and have a look at what's been happening today. I only took one trade today, but before I look at that, let's just look at what was popping up this morning. We had CYPH. So this stock was popping up this morning, and there was some volume going through it for sure. Let's see how much volume we've had so far. So, I mean, it's pretty late in the morning now anyway. It's almost noon Eastern time, so 12 o'clock Eastern time. So we had about 64 million shares of volume go through it, and sadly it's come all the way back down. I mean, it's holding up fairly well, actually. I'll take that back. So it was popping up. There were some opportunities here for sure in this section here. And what was the range in that candle? Low of 319 and a high of 359. Not a massive range. So the reason I didn't trade this stock was purely because of the float. 48 million. It's too high. In this market, it's really high. I think ideally we're looking at sub 10 million. Anything above that, it's struggling to really. We are looking for micro floats. Anything above that, it will struggle to take off at the moment, and that's fine. It's part of the cycle of trading, which I'm going through for the first time, trading full time in this way. So it's a learning curve, and it's understanding and managing your discipline and your risk. I think those are the key areas that need to be focused on. So what was the stock that I traded today? ONMD was the stock that I traded. Took one trade. I got in at 176 and I sold at 170. So it was a quick pop and drop. So I added a note here. So the reason why did I take this trade? Before I actually go into why I took this trade, another thing to bear in mind is 24 million. I was a bit hesitant. The float seemed still a bit too high given the market that we are in right now. So didn't have high hopes of a breakout. I did anticipate it, and that's why I got in, but it failed to go any higher, and as it was struggling to hold 170, I sold. Low volume, higher float for the type of market we are in. So the volume was all right. It wasn't great. The reason I took this trade is because it was holding up in this area. A lot of topping tails here. That should have been some sort of warning, but the reason I got in was because I was hoping that it would break this, and it did, but then it sort of popped up very momentarily, and then I got stopped out. So I couldn't get in at 170. What did I get filled in at? 176. I got filled at 176. Maybe I hesitated to get in. Gave me a 2 cents pop, and then it reversed back down, and I could see that it wasn't able to hold 170, so I sold. That was my only trade. 6 cents per share loss on that, on 10 shares. Like, realistically, with the bigger, if I was trading with the full size of 1,000 shares, I would have taken half. That would have been my half position. Half of that would have been 500 shares. So was this a 500? What was this worth me going in with 500 shares? No, I don't think so. Given how cold the market has been this morning and throughout the past couple of weeks. So yeah, that was my only trade. There isn't really much to say. I don't know if you can see above my screen here, above where my thumbnail is there, you can see the volume on WTO. These are penny stocks. So that's the volume is there. 801 million. That's a lot of volumes. That's a lot of shares that have been traded through this. And the next one, another penny stock, 254 million, 210 million, 104 million. So you can see there's traders going in. But the issue with these penny stocks is you can't buy 100 shares. I mean, you can, but it's just not going to mean anything. So you have to size up. So that's why the volume suddenly increases. So for example, if you look at this column here on the right hand side, this is showing anything above 1,500 shares that's gone through on the tape. It's 4,500, 2,900, 25,000. So big numbers, right? 19,800. But of course, the volume's died down now, and there's not a lot of action on it at the moment. So the volume is there, but on the wrong stocks for me anyway. All right. So today I'm also going to quickly cover my last week's recap because I didn't get a chance to do it on Sunday as I had family commitments. But last week was a bit atrocious, but you know, it's fine. It wasn't, okay, atrocious is probably a harsh word to use in this sense. I played the hand I was dealt, and the market was cold, and I wasn't able to capture the opportunities the way I should have. And I had a couple of big losers, but those were my max losses, so I wasn't breaking any rules per se. Of course, I couldn't take a trade anyway once I had hit my max loss because my broker wouldn't let me. So given how small my winners have been, the losses were quite bigger because I just wasn't able to capture enough. So I took 11 trades, only 36.4% accuracy, an abysmal profit to loss ratio of 0.23 to 1. So last week my profit loss ratio was 1.5 to 1. This week is 0.23 to 1, 0.2 to 1. So it means for every dollar that I risked, I only made 20 cents. But last week, for every dollar that I was risking, I was making $1.50 approximately. Of course, my winners were small, but I'm just putting it in the context of a ratio that makes sense. So, yeah, I mean, it was a meh week. It was like, what can you do? There isn't anything that I particularly liked about this week, apart from the fact that my discipline is really coming on. It's getting, like, I feel like it's improved tenfold over the past few weeks. What did I learn? Well, respect the 3 losing trades rule and step away. So part of the reason I've got the accuracy was quite this low was on Wednesday, took just one too many trades, 5 losing trades on this day. We'll have a closer look at it, and I should have just walked away. It was going to be a quiet day. I wasn't going to win anything on that day, so I should have walked away. So what did I lack this week? A bit of concentration. So on both Wednesday and Thursday, I think it was when I had those 2 losers. Sorry, Tuesday and Wednesday. Just lacked a bit of concentration. I had a few stuff happening. I got disturbed a few times, whether it was work or somebody walking in or what have you, and it just threw me off. I do like remember specifically be like, well, I was a bit distracted, and really affects your performance. I'm going to skip over what I longed for because there's not really a lot to talk about this week. So action for items for next week, continue with the same level of discipline, and that's the key here. That's what I'm going to do. So let's have a quick look at where I am for the month of November. You know, bear in mind that my max loss per day is $10. So far for the month of November, I'm sitting in the red at $18.26. So where does the max loss come from? So my max loss is based around how much I could potentially make on a good day. Given how cold the market is, there are still opportunities where I could make $10 with 20 shares. But it's just that on these other green days, I've not been able to really take a full size. They've just not seen enough opportunity to go in with a full size. So I've chipped away at it with, quarter size or half size positions, but of course it doesn't amount to much. But on my last 2 losing days, just I let the ball slip, really, and I shouldn't have taken that many trades, for example, on the 12th, as you can see. So, and I'd increased size, so that was the other mistake. As in, I went full size by buying 5 shares, 5 shares, 5 shares. So I think I bought 5 shares 4 times and I sold once. But still, my max position is 20, so you got to divide this by 2. That will give you the full position. So you buy versus your sell. So yeah, I mean, it's not too bad. In terms of the month overall accuracy, I'm at 50-50. So 10 losing trades, 10 winning trades. Of course, after today, I had 1 more losing trade, so it tilts it slightly towards the losing side, knowingly. Overall, obviously, I'm down anyway, $18.26. But, you know, it's not so bad. It's not grim. It's progress. It's progress in the face of great adversity for the longs that just, well, I guess I'm just talking about myself, my own set of skill sets that I built over the past year trading. That's where I am. And that's fine. Like, you know, this is a very cold month. The same me a year ago would not have been able to still achieve that today in this current climate. So I think that's progress, and that's what we're going to look at. So it may not look like much progress forward, but it 100% is, like 150% is progress from where I was 6 months ago, not even a year ago, 6 months ago. But I've only been really trading properly since February this year. So that's where I am for the month. Not going to dwell on it. It's fine. I'm turning up, meeting new people online, just hearing from other people's experiences. So it's all good. It's all progress. It's all positive in terms of where I'm trying to get to. It's all positive building blocks. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that recap. Sorry, it was a bit unorganized and last minute because I didn't get a chance to do this weekly recap yesterday. But also, as you saw, there hadn't missed much anyway. But it's still important to do the recaps, I think, personally anyway. So we'll catch you tomorrow and see what tomorrow holds. But yeah, we've got another couple of weeks left for November, and I hope you've done better than me. But I'll see you all tomorrow.